There it is.
There we are. So
Okay.
we're back for segment two of Truth Be Told with Peppy and Sylvia Jackson. And we're talking about bold love. So
Yes.
we want to get back into it. We're going to jump right back into it. What bold decisions did you make that shaped your marriage?
Well, I would have to say that once we had gone through our premarital classes and reading the Bible together on how the order of the family was designed by God, and it showed that the wife is not like the least important, she's most important by her husband, but I don't need to lead my husband because God made the man to cover the wife and to protect her and provide for her. And so when I took that literally, because I could trust Pepe with all that he had already shown me who he is, I decided that to make the marriage even have a chance of making it, I needed to do less of me and not be so pushy and bold, because not because I wanted to, but because the first spouse said he didn't want to, so he just let me do it. Whatever you want to do, dear, kind of guy.
Mm.
But that didn't always lead us in the right direction. And of course Pepe is not perfect, but I feel more like safer when I started to do less of me and become a helpmate as opposed to just being me, me, me. So I started making him first, and then he would always make me first. He still does this. So that way neither one of us are last. But the boldest
Right.
move was to purposely just calm down, trust in my man, love him for who he is, not for who I hope he be. And I was just blessed, to have such a wonderful companion and
Okay,
husband.
so truth be told,
Oh, here we
right?
go again. Here we go.
Actually, I think the boldest thing that we did together was when we decided to work together.
Oh yeah.
When we decided to work together, as husband and wife,
Right.
one of the things is that there is power dynamics, right? Whether it's trust or that sort of thing, it's a natural dynamics, right? Um, because you have two things going on. You have a marriage, and then you have a working relationship too. And I think that that was a bold thing because one of the things that people always kind of teased us about is how
Work
can you
with
work
your
with your
husband?
husband? How
Yeah.
can you work with your wife? And don't you get tired of one another? And it was all of
Nope.
those type of challenges that it really didn't even fit into the dynamics that we had.
Right.
It wasn't a matter of getting tired of one another, but it was a matter of learning one another's style, right? And understanding barriers and understanding dynamics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because again,
Boundaries. Yeah.
as we initially got together, started working together, it was under the industry of the automobile sales.
That's right.
And I ran a team, and Sylvia was part of the team, right? So when I was directing my team to do certain things, Sylvia had the extra benefit of being able to weigh in on what I decided to do, not as a team member, but as my wife. So so while other guys couldn't weigh in based on the fact that they weren't my wife, right? So I had to, have my husband had on too, to listen so that she knew that her voice was appreciated, right? That I listened to it. But it became tricky. It was really, that was one of the challenging times
Yes, it
because I
was.
had to go around and make sure that, yeah, my wife can talk to me in a certain way, but you can't. And we had to keep that conversation clear too,
Okay.
because men will try you on for size if they see that they seem to think that you got your instructions
Who's running
from
the pants?
right, right. That's what
Yeah,
they
they took it as a weakness. This is no
No.
weakness.
Yeah, it's not weakness. Don't get that confused, right?
Right.
But also, it was a matter.
Far
It was
from
it was a matter of trust too, because in sales, right? Sometimes when you're making a transaction, if it appears that you're being more, um, you're being
showing favoritism.
to the opposite sex, right? They call it flirtatious, right? Are you trying to, get the guy to buy the car? Or are you trying to get the girl to buy the car? So it continuously allowed us to build our trust with saying that, okay, you know what, Sylvia's going to be able to handle whatever situation she's in, and I don't have to worry about her being tricked into some sort of situation where she finds herself compromised. So, and likewise, Sylvia started to really have that trust in me also.
Yes.
So, I think that was one of the challenging issues that we had, is learning how to work together, learning how to respect one another in terms of the ability to carry out the job, and not feel when someone suggests to do something in a different way that you're being challenged, that you're being like saying, oh, you think less of me, or you think you're smarter than me. And now we got another issue. We got a different issue altogether now. We forget what we were talking about. I just want to let you know that
Right.
you're smarter than me.
So these are two interesting dynamics. The first one, from the female perspective, is acknowledging that now that I feel safe, I feel supported, I feel loved, I have this person who is not always passive, but engaged and aggressive in his nature of providing and leading the family, right? He has the ability, not aggressive um in the notion of taking over, but aggressive in the bold in the aspect of standing strong, standing tall, being the man of the house and being the leader. He took on that. So that made you say, okay, now I can step back and let you be who you want to be, because you're showing me that you can do that. So I don't need to do that. Right.
And that's a sigh of relief. It was
a relief.
just like I could let down. Wow. I was like, I don't have to worry about leading anymore, And he gave me this one liner, and I'll never forget it. And we pretty much use it for now when we're going through even heavier challenges. He says, if I'm not worried, Sylvia, then you don't worry at all.
Oh,
if
yes.
I start to worry, now we need to talk about something, okay? And that's how we have been living these 25 years. It's been no need to tell me everything. And because I can tell he's doing his thing, he's in the flow. And if somebody tries to undo something that will impact us in our personal and professional life, financially or otherwise, if he doesn't worry, then I don't really have to worry, because what can I do? So but I know that if there is something I can do, if the worry does kind of pick itself up, he'll let me in. And even then, he's got to resolve. Always, if that's the issue, here's what we're going to do, So I love that ability to just lead.
Yeah, because if worrying would solve the problem, then I would spend a lot of time worrying. But worry ain't never solved the problem, as far as I remember.
That part.
And then, Peppy, you jumped right in with your area of confrontation, or your bold move was being able to let her take the lead sometimes. Like, it's not like, okay, I'm the man, you stay in your position. It's okay, we're gonna live this together. I'm gonna bring you in. I'm gonna let everybody know that she has a say, and her words are valuable, and her business is here, right? This is her business, right? I am her business, but it's my business. So, and bringing that line even in the workplace is really bold. It's really amazing to say, I let my coworkers know this is the line that you don't cross, right?
Mhm.
And this is a
Right.
line that I have made, a boundary that I have made that she needs to cross. She needs to be able to come and speak to me and let me know what she sees. I value her words, right? Because I
Mhm.
know she has a position and a power that will help edify what we're doing and what we're working towards, right? And so I think that was such an amazing moment for me just to hear how bold that was for you to just step up in that occasion and say, listen, this is what it is now, and
Yeah.
set those guidelines. I thought that was amazing just
Thank
to
you.
see how that all came together.
No, that's a lived experience, right? That's something as you go through it, you don't know how you want to respond to it. It allows you to do some self-reflection, right? To say,
Yes.
has this been an offense to me, or is this a plus? How do we go forward with this? It's those moments that build the
Unity.
stronger bond
Yeah.
that comes together, right? Because now you understand, hey, this is my partner that I can count on,
Mm.
and that's in itself a real value, right? Because it's tried in real life circumstances. It's
Mhm.
tried. It's not. You know how when some people get put to the test, they fall apart because they never knew that it was going to require them to be strong in that area. But
Yeah,
now that we've been put through the test, and you say, I'm stronger there, right? And I don't respond that way, and
Right.
yeah.
it just gives you that strength to move on. I think that we have that benefit of going through life experiences and becoming stronger as a result of it.
Yes, and it hasn't
Absolutely.
been easy. We're a nonprofit, as you well know how that goes. So I thank God for his strength in that area where he knows how to bend and mold and be, resolved and find other ways and not panic, because that's my nature is to, get a little hyper. Oh my God, I'm having an anxiety attack, right? And he goes, girl, stop it. I got this, in so many words. And that's all I needed to hear, because he is about action.
He is. He is. I can hear
Action
the
Jack.
resolve in his voice right now. Action
Yeah,
Jackson, is that what they call
that's
Yeah,
what they call him, all the way from Philadelphia, PA.
yeah, come on.
You said, "Yeah, I got this." It's so beautiful that you're talking about God and all the details, right? And
Yeah.
you're in a sector that's not really always about God, but you are about God. So when you bring him with you, he invades those spaces too,
Involved in
So
it all. Hmm. We got
to
to go to
hold,
him. We got to go to him first. Make sure
yeah,
that his will, all these things,
right.
including the marriage. Hmm.
Yeah,
And I love how he works to find a caveat. Like if this is not working and this is not open, you were saying this is not available to us, but now there's ways we can pivot. And I think that that's so critical in marriage that someone has to be able to find a way to pivot when
Hmm.
there is chaos and to be
Hmm.
level-headed and to be secure and at peace.
Yeah. Yeah. We both can't be losing our minds.
right. One of the things that has been a guiding factor in my life throughout my life has been a sense that we God put us here for a bigger picture than just ourselves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? That my whole goal is not to figure out how do I make myself happy, right? Or all I
Right.
want to do is have a good life, and that's it, right? But to be able to pass on something that's going to be of benefit to the next generation,
Absolutely.
to make your area in life a little better than what you found it, um, and knowing that we were born into a struggle. I didn't get any inheritance from my mother and father other than the fact that they said, okay, try to make it better than what we had, right? And I think that as Black people, we instinctively inherit the struggle of our ancestors, that we have a responsibility to make things better, to provide more opportunity for the next generation.
Right.
And that's been at my heart even before I understood how to articulate that. Even before I was able to really be able to say it, right? So it was ingrained in my spirit. Sylvia shares that love for her people. She shares that love for community. She shares in knowing that we have a responsibility, and we've done it. We've been in community events where we're working on people that are food insecure. We're working in areas where people are healthcare insured, mentally, the things that describe the quality of a life, right? That you have food, clothes, healthcare access, the ability to make a better life for your self-determination, right? So we have together, I think, been able to live out some of the things that our ancestors did for us that we're trying to pay back now.
And that's beautiful.
My upbringing was based on the word, that pointblank.com. My mother was extreme. She was so radical. It's the kind of upbringing that can sometimes make you like, I don't want that kind of faith. I don't want to be just about Jesus. I don't want, so I fought her tooth and nail all the way through from 10 till I was like 19. I believed in the word. I knew I loved the Lord, but I never wanted to be just about the word, because I felt that on the ground here, we need to be of some earthly good without prejudice, if that makes sense. So again, I just would revert back to the Bible. I would thank God for this great leader that's going to be my new husband, and it's going to make sure he takes good care of us and the kids and the community, because that was the first thing, that the community outreach, that was in his heart. He spoke it. I didn't understand it. And at first I kind of try to, push back on him. Like, I need to be in corporate America. We need to get, all the insurance for ourselves and, make regular payment checks, and you get income, that kind of business. But he says, no, God tells me that we are supposed to do this, which was the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah. And again,
amongst other things.
When you think about entrepreneurship is a vehicle that allows you to be able to create a legacy that you can pass on. When you start to think about corporate jobs and you start, that's a pathway that we want our kids to do, right? We get a good education, get a great job, work on that job for 35 years, retire, and go fishing, right? But the other piece too that we need to be able to equally pursue is, let's figure out what our gifts are and see if we can turn them into solutions for problems that we see in our everyday life, and find a way to monetize it so that we can pass that on to our generation. If you build a business, you can pass on that business. If you build a career, it's very difficult for you to pass on a career unless you,
and that's,
you got.
And that's what you guys do now. You build business and you help people business that they can pass on to the next generation.
Sure. Absolutely.
That's what
I love that. I was thinking about something you said earlier. You were saying how sometimes we inherit a certain, this is the card we were handed, right? This we were born into some kind of struggle. There's not everybody, but some people.
Right. Right.
And um the idea that what are you going to do with the gifts that you had, right? Like Sylvia said, you could just monetize yourself. You can just be about yourself, make your own money, be secure in your future, and live and be done with it. Like I'd have been rich a long time ago, but my whole dispensation has always been, how does God want me to lead and help the next generation? Who are the people God placed in my life to bring to, and it's always been, there are people waiting for you. If I can tell you the amount of times I've heard that, there are people waiting for you. Um, and he will show me all the things he wants to build, all the things he wants to create through the gifts he placed inside of me. And so you have to know that. You have to know the gift that you have, even for your marriage, how it interweaves into your marriage and it builds who you are. And that flushes out into your community,
Yeah.
and then you're able to go out and build this charter that helps people who may not know how to pivot, may not know how to build a business, not know how to build legacy, and you help them thrive and gain understanding and learn the language and the bring in the resources to help
Right.
them become who they need to become. And I think that's so profound, that our life is not just about us,
It
right?
isn't.
It's
Mm.
about so much more and so many other people who need to benefit from
Yes.
what we can produce. Our gifts were given to us so that we can be fruitful and help others. And
Yes.
so I love that you said that, because I think of all the creative abilities that we have as people. And then the second thing that you had said was, because we've inherited this, right? A lot of people don't understand why in African American culture, celebration is so necessary and vital, right?
Mm.
Because we didn't have to be here, right? There was so much keeping us from getting this far, right?
Right.
So much still now trying to prevent us from going forward. So if we never advocate for ourselves or never fight forward, right, then we'll always be behind, right? So
Right.
it's not hating any other or prejudice against another group. It's about loving your own culture and being able to bring to part what your next generation is going to need to thrive. You know what I mean? So,
You got to love yourself first, so that means if you are, in a situation where it's not agreeing with God and it's not agreeing with you, you know, then
Make a change.
make a change, make
Right.
that
Make a
change.
change.
pivot,
Pivot.
Pivot.
pivot,
Yeah.
So,
right.
thank you so much for your the work that you're doing right now. One of the things that we need to do is have more conversations like this. We need to have more conversations where people are giving their personal testimony,
Mm.
because sometimes you see the surface, but you
Right.
don't know what it took us to get here.
Right.
You don't know, some of the things that still affect us and things that we're able to overcome. It's those things that by sharing, that we allow people to understand that they're not alone.
Yeah.
Right,
Right?
exactly.
We have a common space that you may think that you're the only one that went through it, but you're not. And
I like the name of your podcast.
yeah,
We have a daughter as a podcaster.
true. Too.
But truth be told, it sounds really genuine. You can relate to just those three words. Because that's what we're not getting. That's how we got into this thing in America. The truth wasn't told, and it continues not to be told.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
we need to make sure we stay true.
Right.
We as believers, especially, our daughter is unfortunately not doing the podcast anymore, but it was so, filled with, flavorful words that I couldn't even watch it,
Mhm.
so, but because she's upset with what's going on, but sometimes you get angry. That doesn't help, you know.
Right.
So one thing you got to remember is, in the bottom line, I want to say, in the marriage, is love. And it
Right.
sounds cheesy, but you've
It's
got to
real.
love who
It's
you
real.
are, who you represent, and who you belong to. And you
Yeah.
don't belong to each other, you belong to God. And when
Yeah.
He's put two people together, He said, let no man or
No
woman
one included.
ever pull them apart. And that's why we're bulletproof. That's how we became bulletproof. Mhm.
Amen.
And we
So
would
that
love
was
to be able to talk to you. I know this one was about couples, relationship, but love to be able to talk to you about small Black businesses. Would love to be able to talk to you, Sylvia. I'm sure would love to be able to talk about the
Health,
healthcare
wellness.
industry, right?
Yes.
So, the truth be told, there's a lot of other subjects that we would love for you to pursue, and if you do, I want to let you know right now. Count us in.
Yes.
we're surely going to talk about money matters and having streams and all those different things someday. So I'll be sure
Okay.
to call you in for that. And we always talk about being whole, mind, body, and spirit. So when it comes to health and
Yes.
health initiatives, I call you in on that. And I'm so grateful for having you here today. Bold love isn't accidental; it's chosen again and again. And when boldness meets covenant, the result isn't survival; it's something
We're so
beautiful. So we thank you
proud of
for having
you.
that bold love and being an
Yeah.
example to your community of what love is. To me, you're Superman and Superwoman. Yeah.
Wow.
Get out of
But
here.
and I love you both so much.
We
Thank you
love
for
you
coming. And
too.
it's been so great. Is there
Yeah.
anything left that you want to tell anybody about where they can reach you if they need any services or resources?
Yeah, I mean, naturally, if life is changing for you and you are uninsured, even today with the open enrollment being closed, a lot of people think that we don't have subsidies, but the state of California still has money for the subsidies. So our Governor Gavin Newsom made sure of it. So if your life has become where you're not covered by somebody's plan, or you don't have a plan, just had a baby, like Jeremiah and them, and if they don't have insurance, they want to get insurance based on the incomes that they have, they can talk to me. If they just moved here from Texas or another country, but they have the immigrant thing all straightened out and they are citizens, we can still cover them. And if you just got out of jail, talk to us. And you can reach us on our phone number. It's the same number, 951-823-0175. And as
So
for
let me
Sylvia, if you're looking for insurance, if you have a business, you can talk to Peppy about how to grow it, how to scale it, and ask for Peppy on
And
that.
I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna give you a scoop, right? This is the first time ever here in the Inner Empire that we have a full service
Oh, yes.
insurance company, Black owned,
Yes.
that covers home insurance, auto insurance,
Pet,
insurance,
life,
workers' comp insurance,
life
affordable
insurance.
automobile insurance. I want to add too, because there's a
Gotcha.
special program for that. Any of the insurances that the term life and the URLs, we have all of the insurances that anyone could ever need, and it's under one roof, and it's Black owned, and we're going to make all of the complicated information that comes along with insurance policies very clear, and be able to understand what you need to have in place to make that generational change, right?
Yes.
Everybody says, what can I do to make a difference and make the next generation better? We can talk to you about that. Right?
awesome.
Praise the Lord.
Tell them
Yeah.
where we can find you at. What's the name of your business?
It's Jackson Insurance Services, right?
Okay.
So I've created the company that I saw that there was a need for.
Yes.
We do have other agencies, but not one that covers all of the insurances under one roof.
A one-stop shop. So then when you get all of that done and you don't have insurance for yourself personally, you can come to my office.
Right, we got you
Okay.
covered. We got you covered. Here, we are
Right.
here to take care of the community.
Yes, we are.
Okay. So you talked about that. And so this is under your personal business. And then you have another business that helps businesses start businesses. And that is what is that?
Correct. So here we are, right? One of the things that we've done is to provide resources and be able to sit down and have a safe space. If you have a business idea, you're an entrepreneur, you want to see if your business is a go or a no go, right? You want somebody that's going to give you not talk condescendingly, right? To really listen to what your business idea is. We help clarify businesses' idea. We help find funding for businesses. We allow that safe space. If you have a business idea, we want to hear it. We want to help you turn your idea into money.
Right.
That's what we want to do.
And focus
Okay.
groups and surveys are being done as we speak.
Yes.
Okay. And your name is Riverside.
Riverside County Black Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
Riverside County
Black Chamber of Commerce.
What about the health and wellness part?
And Riverside County Black Chamber of Health and Wellness. We have two nonprofit organizations. One is for our business, and one is for the health and wellness. So
yes,
we got you covered. All right, we got you covered.
And they can find you at what's your address and your number?
It's 2060 Chicago Avenue, Suite A as in Apple 13, Riverside, California, 92501. And the office number 07. And the office number is 951 823-0175. My direct number is 951-548-2820. Again, 951-548-2820. I answer my phone or text me. Either way, I will respond.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us today on Truth Be Told. I hope y'all have an amazing day.
Well, yeah. Thank you, Tanika. When you turn it off, let me ask you one question. Okay.